The reason I switched to cycling was mostly because of an injury and getting injured over and over and over again. About 4.5 years ago now, I came out of grad school. I was working a couple years, and then we had put on some weight from just the years of grad school and not having sports or anything in our lives. Our oldest was actually born, and we were like just barely had him new, and we had talked about losing weight and getting healthy for a while, but now like holding him there, it was very evident that we wanted to do that really badly. Like we wanted to run around with this guy, we wanted to be healthy for this guy, we wanted to be around healthily as long as we could in his life. And so it was a great motivator to say, you know what, we've tried a bunch, but this is it. This is like go time. There's no more messing around anymore with this. So I lost the weight and immediately got back into running because running had always been my thing. And by lost the weight, it was 100 pounds over the course of like 7, 8, 9 months or something like that. Yeah, the next spring I ran a marathon, and I had never really had a goal of like going to Boston, but I knew that my training was close enough to maybe get me qualified to go there, and that would be cool to go there if it ever worked out. And so I gave it a shot to qualify for Boston, which I did by like 6 minutes or something. So it was like a 2:54 or 2:55 or something, which I knew going into Ogden Marathon would be like around top 10 in like the Ogden Marathon finish. I think I was like 11th that day or something, or 12th. And I was like on top of the world. Like, this is awesome. I'm just barely getting started. I'm gonna like kick butt and just run marathons for a long time. And it wasn't long after that my knee and ankle issues just got like bad. Every week it would flare up and I'd have to hold back a little bit. And then eventually got to the point where it was like uncomfortable to run. And I was like, okay, I gotta take some time off. And I'd take time off, but then I wouldn't like ease back into it. And I also wouldn't like strength train and cross train like I should have. I know so much more now that I maybe could have done to keep running going. But eventually it just got so injured from my overuse of it and wanting to do more and more and more and go faster and faster and faster that I like couldn't run like basically at all. So what got me into cycling was my brother had a like Walmart mountain bike here in my garage. And I'm like, I guess I'm just gonna go try and get on the bike and see. I biked a ton as a kid, never competitively. There was never any like mountain biking or anything back when I was younger that was competitive like it is now. And so I was like, well, I don't know. I've always thought maybe I would do triathlons. So I guess maybe I could get into cycling for a while I'm healing from running. And I'm remembering now that was kind of the thought process. And so I got on the bike and knee didn't hurt like at all. And so I rode the mountain bike for like 2 or 3 days before I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a road bike, and rode bike once again, thinking this will kind of bridge the gap and I'll get into triathlons probably. This will be a good way to get into it because I can swim good, I can run okay, and maybe I can bike okay. We'll see what happens. And I got the road bike, clipped in for my first time in late June, like almost July time of that year. And it just took off from there. That same year is the first year that I rode Lodija, the ride version, 208 miles. That's in early September, and this was like end of June, beginning of July. So I didn't actually decide to ride in Lodija until like end of July, beginning of August time, like 1 month out. Because someone mentioned it to me when I first got a bike, and I was like, yeah, that's stupid. That's like, who bikes that far? That's ridiculous. And then next thing I know, I'm like riding 100-mile rides over and over and over again. And I'm like, I think I'll do that stupid thing. that sounds fun. Yep, so it was 2022 Ogden Marathon that I qualified for Boston. That summer was rough, but then that fall time, I got into biking. I rode Lodija. It was probably still to this day one of the hardest things that I've ever done, that ride alone, because I wasn't that far into cycling and I didn't know how to ride in groups. And it's the ride version, so you're not like with a group anyway, and I didn't know anyone. Like I literally hadn't rode with another cyclist once before that, because group cycling's huge, right? It's how everyone rides and races and everything. And so I spent maybe a couple hours of that day with other people in like these small groups, but I didn't know how to like hold a wheel or pull through or anything that cyclists do. And so I think it was like 11 hours and 15 minutes or something. and like 11 hours of basically pedaling or whatever. So I had the worst cramps of my life that night. The cramps where it's like on opposing muscles, and so you can't like relieve it. Yeah, you can't push out, you can't flex this way, just like wanting to like curl up in a ball and cry, but like it just hurt so bad that whole night. So yeah, that's how I got into cycling. And ironically enough, after that loaded jet, I was like, I want to do that again, but better.